What is going on, guys? And welcome to another Beta Memoirs. And in today's episode, we look like we are breaking the SPX rollover at the current moment. Being said, we've been selling off a lot over the past week or so, and it's actually been very good because we've been running extremely hot till this point. With that being said, we bounced back. We broke out of the trend, as you can see here, and we had a massive move up. But the thing to remember here is, yes, we don't have any real news, no catalyst to send us down. This is all essentially kind of been the SPX rollover, quarterly rollovers, which happens at the end of every quarter. And so we need to pay attention to that. But being said, SPX had a massive push today. Now, this is what I expect. We have the quad witching on Friday. There is a lot. There's over $1 trillion some dollars that is essentially getting released on Friday. That can all essentially happen within an hour. That might happen the last hour on Friday or towards the end of the day on Friday. So remember that even though it looks like we are coming back, I think we have another explosive day tomorrow. But then from that point, I would be extremely careful. I think we could even run all the way through till tomorrow, even pop into Friday. Then we might see start slowing down and then start seeing some selling. We do have the Fed coming up at the end of the month. We do have the Powell stuff, I believe, next week. I thought it was this week, but I believe it's actually moved to next week. I actually got to look that up and see when exactly that is to determine his future as Chair Powell. So we will see what happens with that. But this particular video, I didn't want to get into a watch list. My watch list is essentially FANG tomorrow, and that's what I'm watching, because I think if this is what I am seeing, we will have a massive, massive day tomorrow and to the upside. That's not saying you don't need to just throw risk out the window. You do need to be very attentive tomorrow, as we could possibly start selling off. Maybe this is just a relief bounce that we're having. Maybe we get a little bit more of that relief bounce overnight, and then we start selling tomorrow into Friday. Just have to be really mindful of that. Again, you got the 20 EMA that we've hit and got rejected. Are we going to break over that tomorrow, or where are we going from that point? QQQ looking strong, is back over a lot of support again, which is good to see. But we do have to be careful. We still do have to be careful because of the fact that what is going on is, even though we have the quad witching and everything going on, there's a lot of money coming out. This week, in 2 weeks, I believe it's the end of October as well, or the end of September, excuse me, where we have a lot more money that's supposed to be essentially coming out of contracts as well. We have some more turnovers at that point, SPX rollover, and then also we have you have the monthlies, and then at the end of that, we have October 15th is another big date with a lot of exchange of rollover money. And the reason why they bring those up, yes, there's always, your weeklies and your monthlies and your quarterlies that go on, but there is a lot of money in these particular rollovers, and that's why they're affecting so much. So that's something really to pay attention, because of all the money that's been in the system, to realize that these rollovers are extremely can extremely pull down the market very fast, because the amounts of money that are being switched out and stuff. So being said, QQQ looking strong for tomorrow. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we try to attempt to go to all-time highs in QQQ. Growth looks extremely strong. Tesla popped right back. Tesla's been kind of holding, even with the market and everything selling off. So it'll be interesting to see, do we break that 764 mark and we start going back up? Do we try to attempt to go for 800? It's something I want to watch tomorrow. Google had a massive day today, actually kind of upsetting a little bit. I did catch this perfectly down here and wrote it up, and then I didn't think the market would really actually come all the way back the way it did because of this pop and drop here on the second candle out the gate. And then it just had this massive push. Everything looked like essentially the market wasn't afraid anymore. You can tell very quickly that the market just was not afraid, and the gas just came at that point, and everything started to run. Now Google, I think, it will definitely, I think, test all-time highs tomorrow. Will it go past that? it's something to definitely keep on watch tomorrow. For me, yes, I want to keep Google on watch, but it's already ran pretty hard. Yes, I can see it running again hard tomorrow. If there's a good dip, yes, I want to get into Google. Premium's already kind of bolstered from this massive run today. I'm kind of looking at a little bit of the laggers. UPST is what I'm looking at tomorrow. I did capture a small portion of this move today. I want to see if this pulls back or possibly tests all-time highs, pulls back, and then breaks out for all-time highs tomorrow. This is one I want to keep on watch most definitely tomorrow because of the momentum it's had. Facebook had a massive bounce today. Is this going to continue tomorrow? It also had that antitrust news that come out, so I'd really watch this too. This could possibly even sell off, even though everything else is going on. It took quite the beating before everything else did. Apple did really well today. It sold off a little bit, but nothing compared to everything else, and it's pushing right back up. Roblox held pretty well. I missed the pre-market dip on this. I did have an order sitting around the 78 mark, but it was pre-market and I missed this dip buy. Will they come back down? I'm not really sure, but I think Roblox will be a good one going into the holiday season. Planter, it didn't do anything. It hardly even moved, but went up. Another one to keep watch. You're trying to watch for momentum, especially intraday right now. Lagger, another big lagger, and one I played. I went pretty heavy in is Square here. It's been building a nice base here, which I like. So I did get in calls and sold them at the end of the day. But I still am in shares in this, and on the daily, it's set up perfectly for tomorrow to at least try to attempt that 255 is something I can see it attempting to do before everything starts to attempt to roll back over next week. Because again, I think with the amount of money that is going in and out of contracts right now, people shifting around for next quarter, I think it's important to give it some time and don't just stack everything now, because I think there's still going to be, we're going to get to this back and forth still, some massive running, some massive selling, some massive running, at least for the next probably 3 or 4 weeks in my mind is where we're sitting at. Square could be good tomorrow as long as it opens above this, essentially that 74 mark. It stays above that, we can possibly push up a little higher on that one as well. Amazon finally broke out as well. This could be a very good one tomorrow, especially since we did a retest on this break, and now it looks like we're back over that. We could possibly go back to all-time highs for Amazon. Again, I wouldn't make massive bets on this because of the fact that you have quad witching and everything. Again, there's a lot more money in this. Quad witching always happens. In my mind, it was never a big thing, but there's a lot of money currently floating around Friday. So that's something to be mindful of, because it could definitely change the sway of the market. Shop is another one. You have to be mindful, though, because this 1484 mark, it's a pretty strong resistance. As long as we can break above that, Shop could start really pushing back up, attempting for that 1600 again. I think is a very much possibility. SC looking good. Actually held support extremely well. Started pushing up again today. I wouldn't be surprised if we reattempt all-time highs. I think, again, tomorrow's, if it continues, if we don't gap down overnight, tomorrow will be, I think, a massive continuation. I think we'll get a pullback and then continue into Friday. Again, with all the quad witching and everything, we might even run into midday, and then we might get a massive sell-off towards the end of the day as everything adjusts. So that's something to keep in mind during that quad witching. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I want to stay with FANG. Everything else could possibly be okay. But again, if we flip and start selling off again, a lot of the mid caps and stuff might get a little push. I know Space even looked pretty good. It looked like it was starting to break out of the wedge on the hourly, or something I did notice. So it looks like it's starting to break out of the wedge. This might actually get a little bit of momentum back up. Again, there's been a lot of negative news on this. That's why I kind of been like staying away from this and haven't really jumped back in, even though it's hit the zone. I've been floating around the zone. There's been, again, a lot of negative news as far as flights and delayed flights and everything, which I don't really like, particularly like. I like staying with companies essentially that are good and have solid foundation, right, and good fundamentals, and that have already kind of proven themselves to some extent. And that's why I want to keep with them, especially with everything that's going on. Once the market gets past October, then I think it's more like everything is game on at that point, and then going into, again, the new year. But with that being said, if you've made it this far, remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Till next time, I'll see you guys later.